Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to be bringing you two Kirkland's dining room dupes. So let's get started with dupe number one. And dupe number one is this fork, knife, and spoon individual little plaques, and it is $59.49 on sale. So I have this little decor box from Hobby Lobby. It was originally $8.99, so I paid 90 cents for it. And I'm just going to remove all the tags from the back. And then I'm going to take my heat gun on the highest setting, and I'm going to heat up that Wood Joy word on the front. I'm going to heat it up pretty good, and I'm just going to use my old Cricut, the one with the cartridges, spatula, which is very thin, and I'm just going to slide it up underneath it because I do want to try to get this joy off all in one piece. The other two I was not able to get off in one piece, but look at this one. Yay, I did it. Now I'm going to take my finger sander and I'm just going to sand down the top part of this decor piece. And I do have a link to the finger sander in the description box if you're interested. I do really like it. I like it better than those sanding sponges. I just think you can control it a little bit more. And now I have my Ladybug vacuum, which I also have a link to that in the description box if you're interested. It does make life a little bit better. You don't have to worry about all the dust and everything on your desk. You can just vacuum it up. And now I'm just taking a towel and I'm wiping down my piece before I paint it. And now I'm using one of these mats that is also linked in a description box. And I use it to paint on, and this one's tore up, but you get 3 in a package. And I use them to paint on, and then you just take them to your sink and use a sponge and wipe them down. So I'm just marking halfway on the piece here. Once I get my 3 markings, I'm going to take some masking tape and I'm going to put one edge on the markings that I just made. And that top edge, I'm going to paint and try to make it look like a wood. I think this is probably the MDF board. So I'm using the Nutmeg Apple Barrel acrylic paint. Just putting a little bit on the front there, and I'm going to use this flat brush. And I want the brush strokes so it'll make it look like wood. And then I'm just very lightly taking the brush from the bottom with the top of the masking tape to the top of the piece. And I'm going to also do the sides and the top of it. So the Kirkland's piece is a lot bigger than this one here. Like I said, these decor pieces were 90 cents. And the spoon, knife, and fork that you'll see was probably about 50 cents, I think, because there's a set of 9 in a package for $3. Could have been closer to 25 cents, I don't know. But anyway, this whole project, it was less than $5 versus what Kirkland's wanted for theirs. But like I said, theirs is a lot larger. So you do want your strokes to be long if it's to look like wood. You don't want it chopped up. I'm just trying to get off a little extra of the paint. Looks good. Okay, now I'm just going to take my heat gun on the low setting and I'm just going to dry this. Going to remove the masking tape, and like I said, you could use, or maybe I didn't say it, you can use painter's tape. I just didn't have any on hand, so I'm using my masking tape. And we're going to set that aside. And here's the spoon, knife, and fork. Like I said, I got them at Target years ago for $3. And I think there's, I don't know how many sets are in there. Maybe 3, 4, not sure. But anyway, I know you can also get these at the Dollar Tree. They have them every now and again. And I'm just going to take my white acrylic paint and I'm going to start where the green is on the fork, and I'm going to cover that up first with the white paint. Then I'm going to dry that and add another coat to that. Going to dry that. And then I'm going to add a third coat. And you only have to do the back once. And then I'm going to do the main fork portion of this. Make sure you get in between the tines. I thought this was a nice little project to put in your dining room. I would be putting mine on the wall. So I gave it one coat so far, and I'm drying it with my heat gun. I'm going to do the second coat. Dry it with the heat gun. And that's it. So now I'm going to work again on my decor piece here. I'm going to add the same tape back to the portion that we already painted with the nutmeg. You want to make sure that your tape is completely down because you don't want to get your paint up underneath the tape. And I'm just going to use this black acrylic paint from Apple Barrel. And then I'm going to use this round sponge dauber to put the paint on. I'm going to do the edges first. And then I'm going to do the top. Going to dry this with my heat gun. Now when you use a sponge dauber, it does create a few bubbles, and these will pop, and you'll have to cover them up again with your sponge dauber. So just be aware of that. Using my heat gun again to dry it, taking the masking tape off. And there we have our box, and it's ready to add our silverware to. So I'm going to be using this wood glue from the Dollar Tree along with some hot glue. So I do not mix the glues. I put the put the wood glue in one portion and then put the hot glue in another portion. They do not touch. So there's our fork already. And then we have the knife. And now for the spoon. And there we have our mini version of our dupe from Kirkland's. Now, I probably should have raised the spoon up a little bit, but it's okay. Just going to turn these around so you can see them. And this is how they look on my wall. I do like staggering them like that. And then here's our pick with the Kirkland's piece and with the piece we made. Again, theirs was, looks like $39.49 and mine was under $5. And now on to dupe number 2. So for this one here, it says good food, good wine, good friends, good times. And it is $32.89 on sale. So I have this another piece that I got from Hobby Lobby after Christmas. So it was $21.99 originally. It cost me $2.20. And I'm just going to take my heat gun and I'm going to remove all the stickers. I will be having a craft show in March. And these pieces will be in my show. And I don't like having stickers on the back of them. So once I have the stickers off, I'm going to take my staple remover, and again, this is in a link in the description box if you want to check it out. I really like it. It works a whole lot better than the screwdriver. And a piece of my box did come apart, so I'm just going to use some wood glue to glue that back together. I guess I was a little forceful with one of the staples and kind of hit that and tore it off, but we'll just put it back together. I think it's still a good deal for $2.20. Need to add a little bit more glue. I'm just going to take some masking tape just to try to keep that piece in place as I continue to do my DIY. Now the hanger for this piece was was in the horizontal position, and I need to move it to the vertical position. So here's the front part of this decor piece. It says, "Oh, Silent Night, Holy Night." And anyway, I'm taking some black acrylic paint and I'm just daubing over the words for this. They are in white and the piece is black, and then around the inside edges is buffalo check in black and white. And I'm going to leave that as is. Now I'm going to take, well, I dried that. Now I'm going to take my white acrylic paint. And again, it is Apple Barrel and it's Snow White. So I'm trying to carefully go around the edges and not get the paint on the buffalo check inside edges. I'm just using a small paintbrush. Once I get those edges done there, then I'll switch to a bigger brush. And I do give this 2 coats. And you want to make sure they're dry in between. Just take my heat gun and I dry it. Once it's dry, then I put another coat of the Snow White acrylic paint on there. And I get my acrylic paint from Walmart. I need to get a big bottle of the white. You always need a big bottle of the white and a black. I have a big bottle of the black. I need to get me a big bottle of the white, because I am out of white. And as you can see, it only needed 2 coats of the paint. And I'm going to use my heat gun to dry that. And take my tape off of where I put that piece back on that had snapped off when I was taking the staples out. There it is. Now I used my Cricut and cut out some vinyl, and I had to do it in a couple of pieces because my vinyl wasn't long enough. So this piece here that I'm working on says Good Times. And I'm just using a piece of the clear contact paper as my transfer tape. I think you can get this at Dollar Tree, but I'm not sure. My husband had this on hand and he still has several rolls of it, full rolls. So I won't be needing any anytime soon. Now, I'm taking the larger piece of vinyl, and this vinyl is the Oracle vinyl. I think it's 630 or something like that. Anyway, it's matte vinyl. And again, I'm using my contact paper as the transfer tape. And this says good food, good wine, good friends. Now, for this here, I do recommend that you let your paint dry for a couple hours before you apply your vinyl, because it won't stick real well. It'll pull up some of the paint, and really you just need to wait. I am going ahead and doing it for video purposes, but still I should have waited. I can always edit the video. But again, you'll see, it kind of makes it hard for the vinyl to stick because it wants to pull up the paint, and then the transfer tape wants to pull up the paint also. So once I have it placed where I want it, I'm just going to take my tool here and go over the words. And I'm just doing it a section at a time here. I do have to kind of put the letters down by hand a little bit and hold them in place as I'm pulling the transfer tape off. Again, I do recommend letting the paint dry for a couple hours before you add your vinyl to it. And I will have a link to the Oracle vinyl in the description. If you want to check it out, I do use the matte vinyl. Okay, so once I got the good friends done, I'm going to work on the good wine. And I think this will go well with the knife, fork, and spoon that we did in the previous DIY. I'll put them both in my dining room. And now I'll work on the good food. And there we have it. Now we got to put on the good times. So I like this saying, good food, good wine, good friends, good times. So I'm just going to use my ruler to make sure I place the good times in the correct position. I want all the goods to line up. It's not exactly right. Keep working on it. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to burnish this down and then pull off the transfer tape. It comes off really good on the good because it's all one piece, but the others are individual letters, and so it's a little more difficult to get it off of those. And there we have it. Had to fix my S a little bit. Now we're not done with this yet. So what I'm going to do is take some of the black acrylic paint, I'm going to water it down, and then I am going to apply it around the frame of this piece. So that little top part there, and then the sides and the top and the bottom. I think it goes a little bit better with the buffalo check and then the black vinyl. And then I think it'll cover up that piece that we had to glue back on a little bit better than having it just plain. It'll be less noticeable. Now what I want to do is take my Snow White acrylic paint, and I'm just going to go over the places where the transfer tape pulled up some of the paint. So just doing some touch up. You can see on my phone where I have the sign pulled up on Kirkland's site. I think this year we're going to invite more people over to the house for dinners and all. We don't do that often enough, so I think maybe in 2023 I'm just going to invite more people over for dinner. So let me know, do you invite people over for dinner often? We don't really do it too much, so thinking about doing it more. Okay, that's it for the touch-up. Look at that. Good food, good wine, good friends, good times. And then I did put the sawtooth hanger on the top part of this sign, and there it is, hanging on my wall. And here it is compared to the Kirkland's one, which was $32.89, and mine was probably under $5. And there's both of the pieces, and let me know if you think I did a good job on my duplicates. And which one do you like best? Again, I am Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you like what you see, can you give me a thumbs up or a comment? And please share my video with those that you think would like it, like your family or your friends or whomever you think might like crafts. See you in the next